Yes.
All right. So today I'm gonna show you how to kind of dissect your body and kind of look for the tight muscles, look for the weak muscles, and kind of help or start foam rolling and stretching those tight muscles. We want to do that because we want full range of motion. We want to do that because it's injury prevention and it puts us at the perfect contraction, what would you say, length tension relationship, but it's perfect full contraction, 100% contraction. So what I want you to do, when you're at the gym, I'm assessing my clients one-on-one with this one move. I'm gonna show you how to do an overhead squat. And I assess my clients with this one move, and I can see where they're tight at and where they're weak at. But I want you to be able to do it by yourself. So, if you're in the gym, pick a spot where they have mirrors, wrap around mirrors, because I want you to look from the side, and I want you to look for the front. Those are gonna be our main focuses. So I want you to stand feet shoulder width apart. I want your hands all the way up. Don't let them fall, and I want you to go ahead and just give yourself a full squat. And I want it to be about 90 degrees off the ground. And your arms shouldn't fall like mine are falling. They should be way up here. Now if you have issues, this is what we're gonna look at. So it should look like this, right? That's what you wanna see. Now if you don't see that, these are the common things that you'll see, and these are the tight muscles associated with it. So, if your arms are falling forward like mine want to do, your lats are a little bit tight. If you have a full forward lean, it's probably because your hip flexors are tight, right here, that crease by your leg, those are probably tight, and your calves are probably really, really tight, causing you to kind of lean forward. So you're gonna want to foam roll those. Now from the front, if you're here and you do the same thing, and your feet turn out just like mine did, you're probably gonna see that your calves are tight. We're gonna foam roll the calves. These are just basic things, okay? If your knees wanna knock in like that, it's probably because you have tight adductors. We're gonna wanna foam roll those. If your feet bow out, it could be tight hamstrings, could be, there's a little block right here under your waistline on the side. It's called the TFL. Could be a tight TFL. Could be your IT band right here on the side. We're gonna wanna foam roll those. So now that you kind of know a basic ballpark of what it is, and you know what, I will have a downloadable content for you to download. It's a whole sheet with the tight muscles, with the weak muscles, and how to kind of identify them based off that overhead squat assessment that we just did. So you guys can kind of study that. But now that we kind of broke you down on that, gave you the basics, let me show you how to foam roll those. So now that I broke you down on the overhead squat assessment, you know the basic tight muscles and how your body responds with the tight muscles. Let me go ahead and show you how to foam roll. Now the reason we do all this in the first place is for proper length tension relationship. And what I mean by that is we want the muscles to be perfectly balanced, because every muscle has a counterpart to it. We want those to be perfectly balanced so we can get the full contraction. When we're doing resistance training, that's all we're doing, is we're working for the full stretch, full contraction, right? Full range of motion. If we're working at 60%, which is what we're working at if we have tight muscles, we're not working smart at all. We're doing double the work, and we don't want that. What I mean by that is if you go ahead and you can do this at home, put your hand up and make the tightest fist you can make. It should be really, really, really tight, really, really solid. You should feel really solid. If you go ahead and loosen it up, bend the wrist, and try to make that same tight fist, you won't be able to do that. It won't be as tight. The reason being is because this muscle right here is so tight and the muscle behind it is lengthened. It's not at 100% to where you can get that full contraction. And that's what we want when we're doing resistance training. We want full contraction. Not here. That shit is way too hard to be doing, you know, lifting weights without being 100% efficient. So that's why we do that. On top of the range of motion, on top of the injury prevention, we want all that good stuff. This is why we do it. And again, this is always a 1-2 punch. Foam roll first, stretch second. Never one or the other. All right, so let me show you how to foam roll the calves. It's a tight spot for a lot of people. So what you're gonna wanna do with foam rolling is we're gonna wanna apply tension to those oohs and ahs, those hard spots. The reason we do that is because our muscles have mechanoreceptors that kick on when there's too much tension. So if there's too much tension on the muscle for a long time, the mechanoreceptors kick on and go, whoa, 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 you need to relax. Kind of tricks the muscles into relaxing. So for the calves, we would put our leg over like that, or if it's really painful, if you really have tight calves, you can start here. We want it like here. This is ideal though. But we want to kind of roll really, really slow and kind of look for those, ooh, ah, little tender spot. And once we have that, we want to hold it for about 30 seconds. And again, for those mechanoreceptors to kick on. We'll find a sweet spot. Good. We did 30 seconds there. Keep rolling. Ooh, another one. 30 seconds. Ooh, another one. 30 seconds. Don't be the person that does this and think that they're, you know, nice and loosey-goosey after that. You want to hold. Constant tension. This is a trigger point. Trigger point exercise. Exercise? Warm up. Whatever you want to call it. So yeah, so we just want to hold it for 30 seconds, switch. That's how we would do our calves. Another common spot is the adductors inside. What we would do for that is we would place it at an angle. I'll show, I'll do this. And we would just kind of lay on it with like a frog leg. And we would kind of roll it out. Ooh, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Another common one is the IT band. It's right on the side. We would lay on our sides. Ouch. Hurts. So I would hold this for 30 seconds because it hurts. Boom, hold it for 30 seconds. And you see, I mean, sometimes I'm rolling at like a 1/4 inch. You know, it's not a lot. Sometimes I'm barely moving it. And I'm just keeping it. 30 seconds. Boom, 30 seconds. I would do my whole IT band from top of the knee, bottom of the hip. That's a common one. Another common one is your TFL. And again, that's a little block of muscle right on the side of your hip, under your waistline. And we would just kind of lay on it like that. And we would kind of look for those tender spots. If there's no tender spots, there's no need to do it. We only want to do this on the tight muscles. Remember, we're after that perfect balance, just like that. If we don't have tight muscles, there's no reason to do it. We want just the tight muscles. So look for those tender spots. The hip flexor, another common one. So from here, I would kind of lean over a little bit, kind of lay on it, and then kind of dig right in that crease, right where your leg crease is at. Dig in there and look for those tender spots all the way up. Really put pressure. The more pressure you can put, the better and the more prep your muscles will be for stretching. It's like a Thai massage. If you ever had a Thai massage, you know how painful it is, but the next day you're feeling like Gumby. Real loosey-goosey. From here, I like to try to check my glute. Just roll back a little bit. Your lat muscles are, a lot of people have issues with the lat muscles. We would just kind of lay on it like this, arm up, right on the side. Roll that out. Get back. If you tend to have, just roll it, look for those little 30 seconds. People have tight lower backs a lot of the time, so from right here, I like to kind of cheat to the side. And odds are you're gonna find a little tender spot there, tender spot here. What are the common ones? That should be it. And like I said, I'll have the downloadable stuff for you guys so you can kind of assess yourself. Now that you know how to do an overhead squat, you can kind of look in the mirror and kind of see how your body reacts, right? If your knees move out, where are the tight muscles? If your calves move out, where are the tight muscles? Now that you guys know that, I'll give you the sheet so you can kind of look at it and say, oh, my body's doing this. Where's the tight muscles? Okay, I get it. Let me foam roll those. So after we foam roll, we always want to do a stretch. So if I did hip flexors, right, like I just did, if I did the hip flexors, we're gonna want to stretch the hip flexors. Now just like you have, so I would get it right here and then drive my hips to the floor. I would really push and tense that glute all the way, try to push towards the floor. Now just like you have mechanoreceptors that sense tension, you also have mechanoreceptors in the muscle that sense the length. Same principle though, if it's lengthened for too long, the mechanoreceptors are going to kick on and say, whoa, whoa, this is too lengthened. It needs to relax to get back to normal. So it'll kick on and kind of trick the muscles into relaxing. This is why it's always a 1-2 punch. We foam roll and then we kill them with the stretching. Just to kind of break up the knots with the foam roll and then kind of lengthen with the stretching. So we would go 2 rounds on the stretching. 1 round on the foam rolling, so just hit all your tender spots If you have 15 spots in your calf, hit all 15 spots. And then come back and stretch the calves 30 seconds, and then another round, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. Always. And if you want to stretch later on that night, same thing, 2 rounds, 30, 30, 30, 30. So yeah, so you can switch sides on the hip flexors, and again, same thing, 30 seconds. Again, you always want to do this for range of motion, you always want to do this for injury prevention, and you always want to do this for the perfect 100% contraction, right? Length tension relationship. Lastly, what else did I have for you? I guess that's it. Those are the common ones. Again, study the downloadable sheet. Make sure you check yourself in the mirror and see how your body responds to an overhead squat, and then go after those tight muscles, only the tight muscles.